Welcome to Venture with Joe and Cody, where we take a deep dive into the minds of leaders and innovators making a real impact today. I'm Joe.
And I'm Cody. And we're here to bring you the raw stories, the successes, and the setbacks that these trailblazers have experienced in their journey to where they are today.
Every week, we sit down with a new guest who's ready to share their insight and advice on business, entrepreneurship, and making a difference in their community. From local community members to industry experts, you're going to get the unfiltered truth behind their success.
So whether you're an aspiring entrepreneur, a seasoned professional, or just curious about the business world, join us for a journey of learning and inspiration.
So let's grab a drink, settle in, and let's get started. This is Venture with Joe and Cody. Hey guys, welcome to another episode of Venture with Joe and Cody. We have a very special guest on today. I think I say that all the time, but this one I actually mean it. We have a dominator in the social media marketing sphere. Angie with Blink Marketing Agency is with us today to talk about kind of how she got started and build this company, what her history has been, and give us some insights into kind of the goods, the bads, the downs, the ups of starting and running a successful business, along with having a family and all the stuff that we have to go through. So welcome, Angie, to the show.
Yeah, thank you. I'm excited about it. You guys are wonderful. And Joe, we were just saying a minute ago, we've worked together for quite some time. So
I know.
It's fun to get to know you and just chat and learn a little bit more about each other. It's great.
I know. It's I'm very thankful that, that I stumbled upon your company years ago, and I was a lost real estate agent in a lot of ways, but I do think, your company, helped out and still continues to help out in the success on social media for sure. And that's why I thought it was so important to have you on, because I think that not only is your story about building a business cool, but I think that, Blink does so much for agents that is a necessary thing, that we can be pulled all sorts of different ways and all sorts of different areas in our lives. And we just can get lost in the shuffle of how to market ourselves, how to consistently market our business. And Blink puts it all together and gives it to you, makes it easy, no matter what involvement you want Blink to have, that you can help us so much. But anyways, let's get started from the very beginning. I know Cody's already
great.
Sign me up.
I know Cody's like, this is a commercial. This is just a commercial for Blink.
Yeah, right. It's perfect.
I don't really care. And let me tell you why I don't care about talking about it, because I know from my own mistakes of the shiny objects in real estate, and you can pay money and we'll guarantee you this. We pay money and do this and pay money for this marketing thing. And when I found your company, I was skeptical just like anything, and just it continues to impress me, and your company continues to impress me, and you continue to impress me. So I don't care if I advertise for it, because I honestly think it's an amazing company and does a lot of good work. But let's get started from the very beginning, Angie. So kind of tell us about yourself, how you got into this field. Like where did you start? How did you get going?
Well, my story's a little bit unique maybe from a typical business owner, but I was a stay-at-home mom for 15 years and didn't have the capacity to start a company, but I tried at least 4 or 5 times, and I just didn't have time. I had a sewing business, I had a jewelry business, I just was always trying, and my brain was so busy. And eventually, I had a friend who had an SEO company, and I didn't know anything about SEO, but I wanted to know about it. And he said, "Hey, I just need someone part-time to help." And I said, "Oh yeah, I can do that." Literally had no idea. So day and night, all I did was study SEO. I watched YouTube videos. I learned how to code in my spare time. I was taking online coding classes. I learned everything I possibly could. And this guy gave me a shot, thankfully. And I worked for him for maybe a year or two, and I learned so much. And during that time, I took some more freelance jobs. I started building websites again. Didn't know how to build a website, but I said, yes, I can do that. And then I went and learned how to do it, trial and error. I worked for some small companies, and I eventually, this was maybe 6 years ago, maybe 7 years ago, I eventually met a real estate agent, and she needed some marketing help. And she said, "Hey, do you know how to market for real estate?" And I said, "Yes, I can do that." And then she and I worked together and figured out a strategy. She had this great idea that was when social media was a little bit newer. She said, "I want to be on social media, but I want to have matching email newsletters, and I want to have matching postcards, and I want to have matching events, and I want to have matching pop-bys." And there was no place that we could find that had those things. So just part-time, we started just making, here and there we would make a postcard, we would make a newsletter, etc. And we started building her brand, and we realized very slowly that it was very powerful. their leads, their referrals, especially from their past clients, they've been in the business for a long time. They had so many past clients. And when we started actually targeting them and following up, it was very like wildly successful. And her name is Shara, and she's still a very successful high producing agent. She has 45 agents under her. And Blink Marketing was her original idea. And she was one of the founding partners, and one of her agents, Alex, who is still one of the founding partners. Alex and I work together. Shara is no longer a part of the company, but her vision was this idea that you get everything from one place. And it was pretty brilliant to watch her mind work and see the pieces that she put together. And then we created it all. So that was maybe 6 years ago that we started having this idea to start a company. And again, I was, a stay-at-home mom. I had, all these little kids. I have 4 kids, and it just very slowly became something that we realized we had a really good idea. So I built a website, and, we just started kind of soft launching it, and it became pretty successful pretty quickly. So that's the start. But it was basically, my start is just saying yes and then going and figuring it out. And I still kind of do that sometimes. But I think it's like my ADHD brain. I'm like, I can do it. And then I trust myself.
Just want to know
that's
how to
good.
do it.
So you never had, did you have aspirations then to start your own business, or was it just
Always
kind of fell into your
I just
lap?
didn't
Okay.
know what it was going to be. I kept
Okay.
trying. I just never found the thing. And one thing that I love about Blink is that we make one set of content, and we could have 100,000 agents. We don't. That would be delightful, but we don't.
Yeah.
We could have
Yeah.
an infinite number of clients in this one set of content. So while we do some more custom things on top of that, it's, the idea behind it is pretty brilliant. And I'm really grateful for it, because it was an opportunity that kind of landed there. It was a lot of hard work to build it. It's a massive amount of content that we've created, but the concept is pretty cool.
Yeah. I'm going to jump all over the place because I have so many questions now that we're online together. But how do you protect that content? Just out of curiosity, like, how do you keep, I know there's probably not 100%
Joe,
that you can do, or should we not be talking about this? Like,
how are we protecting it? I think that's a piece that we've not really, we don't know how to tackle that.
for sure.
So it is, obviously it's behind a paywall, but I guess we are trusting that agents don't take our content and go and sell it to somebody else.
Yeah. Yeah.
And we ask them to, when you purchase a plan, we say this is for one agent, you're not permitted to sell it. And, I don't know how we could protect it. I know I have in the past, I've looked up, like I've taken an image search of our social media and found people that are using it that are not members. And I thought to myself, what do I want to do? Do I want to pursue this or not? And I just decided, you know what, if they're going to steal it and use it, then fine. That's just what's going to happen. That's the nature of it.
Yeah,
I don't know.
say-
Maybe we should, I don't know what to do about it, because
know, that's
it's
pretty tough.
digital. Yeah.
It is. But at the same time, I think you do trust that, not only that people are honest, but also in our line of work, they should be. They're not.
Yeah.
Not everyone is.
Yeah.
And so you're going to lose those people. But do you really want them in there anyway?
Yeah. And I think I think it'll just come back to us in other ways. And
sure.
I just trust that. Yeah.
No, I get that. I was just curious about that because we saw
Yeah.
that when Christina came on with you. We had talked, and not to be dishonest, like we weren't being dishonest, but we're like, can we just use mine? But then we were like, they say not to, and so we just got another.
Honestly, if you guys were the people that are posting it yourselves like that, I feel like
sure.
as a couple, as a team, we don't care about that.
Yeah.
I mean, honestly, and it's you. Like, we would basically do anything for you. But I know we're doing some custom stuff for her, and when it gets into custom stuff, it's hard for us to,
That's
that
interesting. So you were never in the tech field. You just basically said, yeah, let's do it. And then kind of,
well, we said, let's do it. And then we needed to figure out how to create a portal for people to be able to log into. We actually outgrew our site 4 times. So I built our site. We outgrew it. I built a site.
Wow.
We outgrew it. So this is our 4th website that I built from the ground up. And we actually have a great web team that I worked with to build this one, because I needed help with the groundwork of it. And they've been amazing. That's Ballin Brands. And they actually do realtor websites. They're amazing. I should give you their link, and they are very good. Yeah.
Okay.
So they helped me with some of that, but building the portal has been, to make it easy to use, was a big challenge.
I didn't even know you could outgrow a website.
Yeah. Well, outgrow.
We haven't gotten there, Cody. Cody, our
capabilities.
websites haven't gotten there. Like, yes, of course you can, but you guys are just
I don't even
not
have a
going
website.
Well, then you don't have to worry about outgrowing one.
No, it's
Don't
all,
worry about it.
it's company based. So I know I'm good, but that also means it's really boring.
Well, I know we're going to jump around a ton, but so tell us now that we're into it. Tell us about Blink. What does it provide to the agents? What does it provide to people so they can know about it?
Yeah, well, I talk to agents every single day on the daily, and pretty much every agent says the same thing. I'm so busy, or I'm not busy at all. So we have those two scenarios. But either way, they say, I don't know how to, I'm either not good at social media or I don't have time to do social media. I don't know what to post. I'm exhausted researching what to post. And then I will go crazy and post 3 times and then do nothing for 4 weeks, And they'll say, I sent a postcard one time and nothing really happened. And oh, yeah, I've wanted to do events, but I don't really know what to do. And pretty much that same message of realtors that they got into the industry to be a realtor, not to be a marketing professional. And whether they know how to do it or not, they don't have the time to be marketing themselves. So, well, like I was saying, when we started this company, we started out first by trying to find someone else to do what we wanted to do. So I actually know what a lot of our competition is providing. And mostly they're all focused on social media. And I hear from agents that they'll call up and they'll say, we want your services. Tell us about your social media. And I do believe social media is important, but more importantly, agents have to be diversified in their marketing. If all you do is social media, you are missing such a huge piece of this pie. And that is the part that we give to you. In addition to social media, the rest of that marketing is what we want to provide, what we do provide. So it's giving that piece where you're following up with all your past clients, where you're invested in your local neighborhood, your local community, with client events, with neighborhood events, with giveaways. And if you have the budget to be sending postcards, I think postcards every other month is amazing for farming in your local neighborhood and making sure you're just really taking care of your past clients. I think that is where you can have just a constant stream of referrals if you've taken good care of those people. And I've given this example to a bunch of clients, but I personally have bought and sold 4 houses, and I used a different agent every time. Now, this is before I was working with the agents with Blink, that my partners now, who I would use forever.
And in Oregon, you would go with me.
Yeah, there you
Of
go.
course.
There you go. When I buy
Got one in
home in
Oregon.
Oregon, but not a single one of those agents ever followed up with me. Ever. I would have used that first agent whose name I can't even remember. She was amazing. I loved
That's
her.
crazy to me.
Cannot remember her name. Never followed up with me.
Crazy.
And I have a feeling if you talk to most people, they would say the same thing. Oh, yeah, I've used a couple agents. Yeah, I don't know. I just use the first one I see. Or my friend Joe, he's a realtor. I'll use him. And if you're the one who follows up with that person, most people will buy and sell 3 times. And if each of those people buy and sell 3 times, it's literally like a pyramid scheme.
I know.
And if you get that, every single one of those people, if you think about them and the way that they're going to influence your business, you would take such better care of them.
For
So
sure.
that's what we're trying to give to agents, is really well-rounded and making sure you're getting people everywhere where they could possibly see you. Because I think the majority of agents are doing one thing, and it is just not enough.
Yeah,
But that messaging is so hard to get through.
I know.
It really is.
I know, and it's crazy to me because I just hear about that stuff all the time of agents that you have the one client and they move on. And it's like, if you want a true business, if you want to, especially in the real estate world, if you want a true business, you have to develop that relationship with the client, not only during the sale, but post-sale and pre-sale.
Yeah.
So yeah, we are thankful enough to have a business based on referrals, and that's only because we continue to stay in contact with them.
Yeah.
We're at the forefront.
Yeah, you're doing it right.
And
Yeah.
that's where Blink saved me, because I think that, again, when you don't know, you don't know. And so
Yeah.
I tried exactly what you're saying. I tried. Hey, I sent some postcards. I thought I'd get at least 5 people calling. No one called. Let's
Yeah.
move on to the next thing. And so I
Yeah.
think
Because then you think, oh, postcards don't work.
I know they're
Mhm.
stupid.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Postcards are stupid.
exactly.
I did a client event. Oh, client events don't work.
Yeah, no one
I
did.
did a
No one.
social media reel. Oh,
For
you
sure.
know, whatever.
For
Yeah.
sure.
It's that consistency. And
I
when
know.
you finally get that consistency, like what you're saying, you're going to have a referral business. And that's just a gold mine.
I know. And it's just like, people pay so much. I just hear all the time of like these leads for Zillow and leads for all these Redfins. And it's like, you could pay like a quarter of the amount to have someone
Yeah.
like Blink help you to
Oh, my goodness.
market yourself
Yeah.
consistently and get.
Have you done that before? Have you paid for leads?
No. I signed
I
up for
have.
the Redfin stuff. I've signed
Yeah.
up for to
Yeah.
be a partner agent or whatever.
Yeah.
And I actually, looking back at it, it was when I was new. I took anything, and
Yeah.
not that I wouldn't
Sure.
take anything for family or friends or anyone that needs
Sure.
my help, but these were cold leads, like looking for manufactured homes and
Yeah.
things like that. And I helped them, and it's developed into good relationships. Again,
Yeah. Sure. Because you
I
are
stay
who
in
you
touch with
are.
them, and
Yeah.
their families referred to me and things like that. So it's worked out well. But I never got anything good or consistent.
I wonder
You
if
know,
most people are willing to do that again, that follow-up work after that initial. They're just looking for a
no,
hot lead,
they're
maybe.
looking for the deal.
Yeah.
And they're looking for the deal, and they know that
Yeah.
they're playing the numbers, and the numbers can
Yep.
work. If you're willing to
Yeah.
pay Zillow $3,000 a month and get all
And
those
you're
leads,
willing
and
to cold call
for sure,
all
Yeah.
and
day long and drive people
yeah,
crazy. Yeah.
convince them to work for you, especially as buyer's agents now with Zillow, that you're now having to be represented. You now have to convince them not only to sell with you, but if a buyer's like, hey, by the way, you have to sign this contract before I can show you a house. It's becoming more and more necessary to be a referral based business in real
Yeah.
estate, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Numbers will work. You can knock 1,000
I
doors
agree.
a day. If you're willing to do that, you will get a business. But
That would be
it kind of goes
horrible.
to that, like,
I would not do it. I
yeah,
would be
and
out
it's
of the business.
that ends up, to me, because I've done plenty of online leads before. And so much of that ends up being more just like a transaction, as opposed to putting in all that time. And I think, all of us, we do the calls and everything, but it's like, if you put in all that time into something relationship building or marketing, something that's going to continue to go, rather than just like, I got to make 50 calls a day so that I can try to get this one transaction, like, it burns you out quick, especially if
sure.
it's not working right away.
For sure.
Most definitely.
So Angie, like, the growth is good in business. However, there's people don't look at the stuff that comes hard with growth. And one example is the website
Yeah.
So what kind of things did you encounter as you're growing this business that you were like, oh, shoot, I didn't even notice that, and had to adjust or adapt as you continued to grow? Obviously the website, but anything else that you saw?
Yeah, I mean, I'll be really honest. Probably for 2 years, we've needed to hire like one or two design assistants. We do all of our own design, all of our own writing, and it's quite a volume of content that we create. And I'm very picky. I want it to be perfect and I want it to be beautiful. I'm very into images. I spend days and days every month sourcing images. And we have tried multiple times to hire people to help us. And I always want it to be someone local because I like knowing who they are. We've tried, some virtual people that definitely didn't work out. And I think I've found it much harder than I had anticipated to find people that can work at our pace and be a perfectionist about it. So probably, yeah, I've trialed 4 people, and I gave them a few months, and I redid everything that they did. And, we worked side by side. It just, maybe I'm not a good delegator. That could be part of it too, because I am so, obsessive about making sure that it looks this certain way. I think that's what I'm surprised by is we have our small team of 3 and we each do our own part. But let's say, for example, I go on vacation, or my business partner, Alex, just had a baby, and we don't have backups, so I think it would be nice to grow our team. It's been more of a challenge than I realized to bring on another person or 2 more people to help with that load. So I think we find a way to do it. I think it's hard.
It is.
Yeah.
Because they're representing, that's what I found with the teams. Everyone asks, oh, are you going to build a team? Are you going to build a team? It's hard when it's your brand.
Yeah.
And that no one, I read this thing, this article that basically said, no one you hire is going to love your brand as much as you do. And they shouldn't. You can't, they're just not.
That's so true.
They don't have the buy-in. And so
Yeah.
to find those employees, they're either going to stay a short time and move on because they're
Yeah.
so good, or they're just not as motivated as you're ever going to be. So,
I mean, that's why I answer every phone call. I'm the one
Yeah.
answering the texts and the emails.
Yeah.
Because I have hired people to do that. And actually, our marketing assistant, Lindsay, who is fantastic. I
Love
trust her.
her.
She
Love her.
is she's one of us. I trust her with everything. But to find another one of her, I've never been able to find that. And
very tough.
yeah, it's tough. So, but I kind of love it though. I love talking to our clients. I love it when, someone texts or calls and they're like, I have a deal going down and I can't open Canva, and here's the problem that I'm having. And I can jump in and make them a quick tutorial, or, just help them problem solve, or whatever it is. I like that kind of stuff. It kind of keeps it grounded. It is a pretty big company. So the fact that, I'm the one answering the calls is a little bit silly maybe, but I think at the same time, it's very hard to find a company where you can text or call and it's a real person and not a robot. And I appreciate that.
I know. I was thinking that random, we'll go off topic, but on the topic is our accountant just got, bought by a bigger company that now it's like
Okay.
some VA that gives me this dry thing and I don't like it. And it's like, but it goes along that way. The customer service, like when you get to a certain size, tends to go
Yeah.
away. And so I do appreciate that as an agent that I can talk to you directly and know the
Yeah.
team, because then you all feel part of the program. But how do you have? I know you have goals. I know your company has goals because of the restrictions that you have of hiring. Are you capping at some point to where you're like, hey, this is what us three ladies can handle. Let's just call it good, or are you like, hey, let's just blow this thing out of the water, or
Yeah,
what?
that's interesting. Well, I will tell you one of the things we had tossed around for a while that maybe was kind of a mistake is we had talked to several large brokerages, like some of the big players in the real estate industry, about doing all of their marketing for all of their agents. And at that time, we were going to, hire a big team. And when that never really played out, we found out that large brokerages maybe don't like to spend very much money on their own agents, even pennies or dollars they
It's
don't want to
crazy,
spend on their agents. It was wild, very eye-opening. I'm
crazy.
glad we actually did not get into that because it probably would have been too much. But I think that would have definitely put a lot of pressure, and I maybe would have lost some of the love that I have for this industry. So at this point, I don't see us getting capped with where we are right now because of the way that we function. But I think if we got an influx of, a certain X number of agents, we would probably, I'm sure we could find a way.
Yeah, you just say yes. You
Yeah.
say yes. We can
And then
do
I
it.
just go and figure it
And go figure it out.
out.
Figure it out.
Yeah.
Where do you find yourself? So obviously all business owners, we all run into the same struggle, right? Of getting out in front of people, signing up for our service. What do you find yourself struggling with from a marketing side of trying to help people grow their businesses? Is it cost? Is it like fear of putting themselves out there? Do you seem to run into a kind of a reoccurring theme of?
Yeah, I would say agents do not want to invest in themselves very much. I think they'll say, like, if things get a little bit tight, marketing's the first thing that goes. They
Mhm.
stay in the industry and they think, "Oh, I'll do it on my own now." Or they don't want to invest at all in anything. Like maybe that's partially our fault, is that they don't see the benefit of stretching themselves a little bit, like for example hosting events or sending out mail buys to past clients. They don't want to spend $200 on those things because they haven't caught the vision of that $200 is going to turn into 10,000
Mhm.
real easy when you're consistent with it. So I think the biggest pushback is that agents don't want to spend money on their marketing because there are things like Etsy and there's a lot of great resources out there where you can do it yourself. And what I usually tell people is that's great. You can do it yourself. You probably won't stay with it though. And you
Mhm.
probably won't find enough content to be actually worth your time. What's more valuable, $39 a month or 30 hours of your month? What's more valuable? Those 30 hours could be spent investing in people. You could take people out to coffee. You could, host an event and call everyone on your mailing list and invite them to the event or whatever it is. Yeah, I don't know. I think we're kind of geared towards seasoned agents who kind of know what they need and they love us as soon as
Yeah.
they find us. So when you meet a seasoned agent, they're like, "That's what I want. I got it.
Yeah.
I hear what you're selling."
Yeah.
And they want it right away. But newer agents are like, "Oh, I don't want to spend that. I don't want to spend $39."
Mhm.
So it's hard for them to see if you want to get to that next level. You got to take out this piece of making your own social media, etc., so that you can invest in the other areas.
Yeah.
39 bucks. That's a great deal.
I know, right?
I know. And it is sad. You're right. It's like, you pay for this money when things are good, and then it's the marketing, which is odd that marketing is the first thing to go. And that's why I think agents there's so many issues with how we get into our industry where basically,
Yeah.
hey, I have a few $1,000s, here's your license and go do whatever you want. There's no
Yeah, like I
structure.
said, the brokerages do not help.
No.
Many of them do
Mine
not
does.
help.
Mine does.
You're on your own. It's tough.
No, you're absolutely right though. It's because it just has it. I think the culture has been that way. It's like, if I'm successful, I'm not telling anyone else because I need to get the
Yes.
business, and it's just
Yeah.
this cutthroat type of thing. But also, agents are thrown into the water just saying swim, and we're not even going to guide you as to what to do. So I got lucky waking up early with you girls because it's like that. I started the consistency right away, which helped. And I see a
Yeah.
lot of agents struggle with that. And $39 a month now, I'm like, if I could only pay $39 a month for everything else, I would love it. Yeah, it's just crazy. With that, for you, your company does, specific things, within the company. Are you thinking of expanding what you do within the company or provide to agents?
Yeah, so I mean, we go back and forth. I think there's probably a lot of other things we could provide. Oh, I'm getting buzzing. I don't know.
Sorry.
Is that from
The
me?
landscapers are here at the office and they're
Oh, nice
blowing.
job. Nice job,
They,
Cody.
That's
yeah.
such great
Very
timing.
professional.
I need to get one of those like on air things that I can put in the window.
We're losing subscribers as we
Yes,
speak.
rapidly.
No.
I'm waiting for my dog to run through the house,
Yeah,
like barking like
or
a
to
crazy
jump on your lap.
person.
Yeah.
Yes, yes. Although he's a pit bull, so if he's
Oh,
it would
wow.
be like
Yeah,
the whole
he's
thing.
taken over.
Let me
Yeah.
see here. I'll see if I can mute it while they're doing.
Oh, it's all right. I just wanted to
No,
make
it's
sure it
fine.
wasn't me.
It's fine.
It's not. It's really
I
not
mean,
a big
it's loud
deal.
in here, so I don't know how loud it comes across there, but like,
No, it's
wow.
good. It's good. So yeah, were you thinking about expanding anything?
So I think there are some things that we are adding or maybe trying to change. I think we need to do a better job of helping agents. I know agents want to be posting a lot more reels on social media, and honestly it's a very hard thing to give to someone because really it's better when it's organic. So how do you give someone something that's a template that's easy to use that is also organic?
For sure.
So we're working through that. And actually, thankfully, we have a few agents that are using our content in the most incredible ways. And they're going to partner with us to teach other agents how to do that. So
Yeah.
I'm really excited about that piece.
Yeah.
So we're going to add a little bit more education like that and just helping agents to be organic and use our content to help facilitate that. So that's one of the things that we're going to be adding in and just trying to do a better job of communicating with our clients and helping them to stay on track with their marketing. Because I do think people just kind of pick one thing, then they don't add in anything else. And I think that's definitely something that we could improve on, trying to figure out how to just communicate better and, help them add in those other pieces. Because I do think they're so vital and people don't use them.
Yeah. Are you seeing the technology developing that people are needing? Are you seeing more requests from agents on specific things? With AI and all that stuff, I was going to ask you generally how that's affecting your business, but is it helping or hurting? But also, are agents starting to say, hey, can you do this for me? Or can you do this for me? Are you seeing more of a trend of something coming up?
We've always seen that, but I think what happens is agents, especially newer agents, will say, I don't know anything about social media, but when I'm on there, I see such and such an agent and they say they're making 10 million and they say they're doing this and they're selling these courses and they're so successful. And what they're not seeing is that agent might not really be making that much money. And if they're making 20 reels a month, they're probably investing so much time and so much money into videographers and they want those kinds of things, like this thing that this agent's probably paying $5,000 a month for.
Yeah.
They want that for
Under the
$39.
package, yeah.
And it's I think what they're not seeing is those very social media heavy agents have a whole team behind them.
For sure.
And investing that time and money is how you could get that. And that's fine.
For sure.
But you're not getting that that's not something that we can provide. So I do see agents wanting us to give them that kind of a thing. And it's not possible.
Have you seen competition increase for your company against your company, or providing the similar things that you're seeing more of or less of, or how are you differentiating?
Yeah.
How are you pivoting when things come up like that?
Yeah, that's interesting. I think most of our competition is almost all social media. So I think obviously social media is very important. You have to be there, I think most of them focus entirely on making a lot of reels and those kind of contents and adding video. So we're trying to help agents again figure out how to do video without hiring a video team and helping them to learn how to do that. It's hard. So that's a piece that we're struggling with. But I think we are sticking to our guns of trying to make sure that we provide those other areas as well, because I'm not sure what your social media feed is like, but mine is almost all ads. It's
Yeah.
like 75% ads. I hate it. And I think that especially with AI, that kind of stuff is going to be even more automated and more people paying to post. And I think that as a real consumer, I'm kind of dying for personal connection.
For sure.
So if you're an agent who can be local, who's actually in touch, who invites people out for coffee, who hosts a neighborhood event with a cotton candy machine and invites all the kids and the parents and, a little bucket of wine on the side,
Hmm.
if you're that agent that is personal, I really think you stand out in a huge way. So you have to be on social media, but I really think there's a personal element that we're all craving that you can dive into and be different. So I think that's the piece that I want our agents to dive into is to be more personal and not just on social media.
Yeah.
What do you guys think about that? Do you do
Well,
you feel that as well?
yeah, I think that we've been talking about that for a long time of like the personal, even just my talking head videos, I think can be very boring. However, because of all the AI, it provides a person. Like it
Yes.
provides someone to, if they do want to listen, they will hear me, they will hear my personality, they will see me, they will. So I think the more we get into AI, the more, like you said, people are going to crave a person. And not, I'm not predicting anything crazy. I'm just saying, like, I think agents need to start tapping into the human aspect because I do think the AI is going to take off and it does great things. However, for real estate purposes, we still have to bring the person into it and have people
Yeah.
connect. What do you
And
think,
it's
Cody?
it's such a local, such
Yeah, absolutely.
I agree.
For sure.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, okay, so what we hear a lot with successful people is we see the end result. We see Angie running a company successfully. You obviously have struggles, but you're doing well. And, a lot of these people that are in the midst of it and in the fight of like keeping their business going, they're like, you guys can talk all you want about how hard it was and whatever. Can you kind of explain like what what did you face? Like, what problems did you face? What issues did you face in building a business that maybe someone can connect to that says, yeah, I'm going through the exact same thing? And what advice do you have for people that are in that struggle that are like, hey, Angie can do it because XYZ, not me, What do you have? Like, what can you give us? Any insights from Angie?
Wow, that's a big question. Yeah, I guess my answer is that I don't really know if I did it the right way. I don't know that my way is a way that's repeatable. It was kind of a necessity. So it was 6 or 7 years ago, I was in the middle of a divorce. And that's when I decided that I needed to start a company or I needed to do something. So that's when I was taking all these side jobs. And that's when this opportunity came in. And I think at that time, Blink didn't make money for a year. So we were investing. I was working 70 hours a week on this and, and all my side jobs and raising my kids. And at that time, we didn't know it was going to take off. So we didn't know. So it's hard to be like, yeah, you should do that. You should go after this thing, work 70 hours a week. It'll take off someday. Cause I don't think that's always true. And had I had a real job, I would have done that and then this on the side. So I do think, a lot of people start a company and then have the other job and then eventually quit this one and and
Do you
start
think
their new
that's good?
company. So I think the advantage that I had is that I was investing 70 hours a week
Yeah.
in just this because
I
it
think so.
needed it. So I think there is a point where that risk can can really pay off. I don't know if it was the right way. It's just how it happened.
Yeah.
Thankfully, it was successful. And now, I'm supporting my whole family. And when I look back, it's kind of wild how it happened because it could have never taken off and it would have been a disaster. But I think along the way, I think I did have people that just kept saying, keep working.
Mhm.
Just don't stop, keep working. When I was really upset or really, down about it or depressed, it is important to have people around you that are running beside you and saying, hey, I see you working, keep going. And if you have a lot of people that are super negative about it, I think that really can affect you. I don't know that I really have a lot of wisdom about it because I don't know.
No, it
This
makes
is a
sense, but I think
terrible answer.
no, it's not because I think looking at you and hearing your story, I think you're under or not necessarily noticing. One, you had a business that actually had a decent chance of working. Like you weren't
Yeah.
just saying I want to start whatever.
Yeah.
So you kind of had an idea on there. I think,
And we had tested it because we knew it
For
was
sure.
working for our people.
and you had an agent in there, that knew that this stuff was
Yeah.
needed, and
Yeah.
and so you had that desire. I think that was set up. So that's, I think, important. I think a lot of people go in thinking you do hear, okay, this may be controversial, but you do hear these people like do something you're passionate about and then it's not work and blah blah blah, and that's fine. But if you're passionate about like light bulbs, you don't need to start a light bulb business,
Yeah.
like because it
Yeah.
may not be something to. So I
Yeah.
think there's a balance of that, and I think a lot of people that maybe don't succeed are in that mindset. They read the book that says, follow your passion, And I'm not telling people not to, but you have to, that passion actually has to jive with what the, I'm like, I shouldn't be saying this, but I think that that's, you had, what my ultimate story is that you had a product that was needed and you saw that it was
Yeah.
needed. And then you knew that that work, yes. Could you have failed? Yes. But you knew you hedged your bets at least a little bit,
Yeah.
knowing that this
Yeah.
was more likely than not going to work if you did it right, you know?
The part that wasn't going to work is if we couldn't figure out like the website part, like the
For sure.
technical part, because we knew we had the rest of it. I think you can find something you enjoy within an industry that you maybe don't love. Personally, I'm not a realtor. I will never be a realtor, and I think realtors have a very hard job. I'm not even the only thing I know about real estate is everything about marketing, and I don't actually know what it's like to be an agent. I think you can do something that you love and find a way to weave it into something else.
For sure.
Yeah, I don't know. It's all the time. I think I had backup plans for a solid 2 years. I was still taking other side jobs. And like as a super side note, I'm like a semi-pro pickleball player, which is the lamest, weirdest thing to say.
I was
But
going
I
to
was
ask you about that.
coaching
I'm
and
glad
like
you're transitioning into this, but answer the question. Now we're going into pickleball.
so I was like teaching pickleball on the side, and I was still building websites on the side, and just trying to thinking if this doesn't work out, I still have to always just thinking it's something's going to go wrong and I have to figure out something else. So I think that self-doubt was there for a lot, that this wasn't going to work out. It was there for a while.
Yeah. And
then we started making legit money, and then I know I could talk all day.
I know.
about
I was like, I wanted to ask because I seen your stuff
Please
on Facebook.
tell me you guys have
I'm
played
like,
pickleball. It's the best sport of all time.
I have not. I
No,
have
Joe,
not.
you're breaking
I know,
my
I'm
heart.
sorry. I'm sorry. No, I didn't even know pickleball was a thing until like 2 years ago. Like, how did there was
Nobody did.
pickleball in high school? Really?
Yeah.
I love it. No, man.
Yeah.
Well, I
It
see you
got
on
real
Facebook.
cool in the
I
past
didn't
few
know
years.
it's been like
Real cool.
super popular.
But before then, not cool. No one knew what it was. We were real
Now
nerdy,
you're like
traveling around
semi-pro.
the country, playing pickleball, and no one knew what we were doing. But yeah, now it's very cool. I don't know. I don't know. How did it explode? How? It just came to you. Yeah. What?
Really?
International pickleball. Oh my God. Why would you bet on
That's an answer. That's an answer. Like, not probably the accurate one. So I didn't know. Okay, I thought I was talking to some bigwig CEO today. That is, we're talking
No.
to the semi-pro
Yes.
pickleball player.
Semi-pro.
We
Not
should've-
all the way. Not.
We should have
I'm not
started.
here.
We should have
Here.
started with semi-pro pickleball. Like, our subscribers would go up
I know.
significantly.
If you just have pickleball in the title, yeah, subscribers
That's
are going way
true.
up.
That's true.
Betting is going to go up tonight. It's just all going
I
up.
love it. So you've been. I didn't know. I knew you did it. I saw your stuff on
Yeah.
social media, but you're like a big
Yeah,
deal.
we're
on
a
it.
little obsessed. And my 16-year-old son, I have 4 kids, but my 16-year-old son got into it this year. He goes and plays like 2 or 3 times a week. My brother's a pro player. He's amazing. We started together back in 2018. We just randomly, my parents, they were at the local gym playing pickleball and invited us. We were like, that's lame. I'm not doing that. We show up and all of a sudden realized it was so fun and so
That's cool.
silly and very hard to master. And we were both tennis players in college. So we just picked it
Okay.
up really quickly. And then we started traveling all over the country and playing tournaments, and it was a blast. It was
That's
very
awesome.
fun. I don't travel and play anymore, but I am a local pro just on the side. I coach some teams and coach some youth players, which I think is so fun. I love
So
it.
Okay, we're gonna go back to business because you again subliminally don't say anything about why you're so successful, and then you give examples subliminally about why you are, and basically you just do everything. Like, you're constantly driven to do stuff, and you're just denying.
I don't
it or
like being bad at
not
things.
acknowledging it.
Yeah.
But that's
I
a
don't
good
like being
personality to
bad at
have,
things.
I think.
Yeah.
But that's really cool. Well, I know your time is like, you have a heart out, so I could talk to you forever.
But wait,
about
I
this
do have a
stuff.
question for you
Okay.
guys. Do you guys work together, or how are you guys connected to one another? I don't know this part.
Well, that's a good. Cody, do you want to talk about how we met, or do you want me to cover it? I think we're making it more weird than it really is. It's not that big of a deal.
It's a really serious story.
I know. We're getting super.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
We're 2 small towns, super small towns, so we all knew families and stuff.
Awesome. I love that. Yeah, you need that. It's really important.
Yeah, I think
that's great.
for us, it was just we connected through that, and then just thought this podcast would be kind of cool for ourselves to, even if no one cares about it, it's like we can talk to people like you, we can talk to people that have been successful in industry to kind of learn and to help other people. If even one person watches and says, I'm struggling with the same thing Angie did, or I'm struggling with someone X did, I think it's just cool. I think it's just cool to meet new people and do that.
I'm going to be one of your new subscribers. I love it. I think it's great. You guys are awesome.
I was like, you're not a subscriber already? What's going on?
Well, I did just find out last week that you have a podcast.
That's true. That's true. Well, obviously my marketing's not working. My social media marketing's not working. So Blink needs to get on that because it's obviously not helping that area.
Goodness.
But no, I thank you for your time. It's been awesome. I think if you're willing to be on in the future, we'd love to have you on and kind of talk about
and I'd love to have Alex, my business partner. She's got a really great story as well. And Lindsay, I would have hoped to have the team here, but they weren't available.
No,
today,
it'd be so fun to have you all on. But it's
you guys
funny.
are wonderful. Thank you.
No, it's our pleasure. It's our pleasure, and it's a funny side topic, Cody. I don't know if you even remember, Angie. You had some. This was like when I first started, so I was nowhere near successful as I was. But you girls asked if you're like, can we have some successful people? We're going to have like a intro podcast, that class stuff.
Yeah.
And I remember struggling with the email because I was like, Cody, I was not successful at that point. I was not even near the people that you were talking about.
We would have said Joe Skipper is one of our most successful.
And I was like, hey, here's my GCI. I was like, here's my GCI. Do you really want me on? I was like, I'm planning on being successful. And they were you were so sweet, and you were like, yeah, we'll get you next time. But I was like, it was a beautiful rejection. But yeah, I struggled over that email for so long to talk about it. But I know, but now maybe I can be on. Now maybe I have the stats to back it up.
Honestly, we have to start those again. We've gotten out of it. They were actually really great. We loved those when we were doing.
I think they're super good, and
they're like master classes. They were great.
Well, and it helps people to kind of see your company. And speaking of which, so where would people go to see your stuff, see what products you offer, see what services you provide? Where would they go to?
Yeah, it's blinkmarketingagency.com. And we have a lot of content examples on there. But like I said, I answer every email and text message personally. And I love to do Zooms, actually. It's one of my best ways. That's one of my favorite ways to talk to people about what we do. I can hop on a Zoom and I can show you what we offer and just answer questions in person. I think it makes a big difference. So
that's cool.
If you're interested, reach out.
That's cool. Well, thank you so much, Angie. Yeah. It's been a pleasure. And we're just, happy to have you on.
Yeah, you guys are great. Have a wonderful rest of your day.
Okay, sounds good. We'll talk soon.
Thanks.
See ya.